I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Be ready to be enchanted by Thandiel. Hi.
Hello.
That voice is something else, isn't it? But thank you so much for being on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Thandiel. As a VTuber, I'm a vampire cat who's also a scholar. I stream mostly narrative-based games and cozy games or simulators. I'm also working on starting long-form content as video essays.
I saw that you got that up on the YouTube channel. What drove you toward the video essays types of things?
Yeah, so it was actually my original plan was video essays, like offline content or asynchronous content, not so much streaming.
Right.
And the goal really was to give me, I guess, a creative outlet so that I could kind of analyze different games and media, which ties into my, I guess, real life stuff where I do independent scholarship. And so I wanted a different outlet for that because writing research papers takes a long time.
Yes. Yeah. It's not just a kind of a stream of thought thing.
No, it takes so long. And I'm really, I'm thankful that I've had the opportunities to do that, like outside of school. And it's been a lot of fun, but it's also been so much work. And so I thought, hey, why don't I just do video essays? Because that's easier.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you're with that, you're kind of reaching the audience that wants to know about it too.
Right. Yeah. That's the goal is hopefully I find once the long form stuff starts coming out, hopefully I find, people who are interested in more the analysis side or just like to listen to people talk about it. I love listening to people talk about stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to know how everybody's take is on it, because you could do a video essay and somebody else could do it and they'd be completely different tacks on the same subject, which is
right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, I enjoy that a lot. I like hearing the different sides of things. Which is good because like I'm doing a radio interview show.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
Yes. When did you get started with content creating?
So I actually started just about a year ago, really. I had my very first stream where I was really just testing things out. I wasn't even trying to reach an audience. I was just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of an accident, actually. So I hyperfixated for a couple of weeks and suddenly became a VTuber. And I did a couple of test streams last July, so it's been about a year. And I was kind of inconsistent with that, just trying to figure things out. And in October of last year, I started consistently streaming a couple times a week and posting short form content with the goal towards long form content. But that also does take a lot longer, so that's why it's not happened yet.
Yeah, long form content takes a long time, whether it's just audio or audio video or that sort of thing. But it also depends on the type of long form content. Which, like this interview, I'll do a couple of edits and I'm done because it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, what's going to be played for people in colleges, that sort of thing. It's a laid back situation, but over the years, I've done a lot of long form where it took a lot of editing and a lot of timing, and some of those when you're given a deadline and you have to fill exactly 29 minutes and 50 seconds,
Yeah.
You start taking out little words and phrases that you use.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of editing.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, it's not like rocket surgery or anything like that, but it does take a while. But I kind of get this idea that you're going to want it to be exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah. So I'm a little particular, I guess, and it also comes from like the academic background doesn't help because I'm like, no, it has to be exactly like this, and so I'll redo it, I'll rewrite it, or I'll re-edit it, and I'm like, it's never gonna get released if I don't just stop,
That means you're that puts you in the artist category. Artists are never finished. Virtually to a person, I talk, and it's the I've got a piece from 5 years ago that I haven't quite finished yet, and they've already mailed out. So what drove you toward education and that sort of thing? And was it just a curious mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just had a blip on my computer.
That's okay. I didn't.
Sorry.
I'm much more than a blip. But thank you very much.
No, I'm so sorry. It's storming here, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't knock my power out. So if you lose me suddenly, that's why.
Oh, we're good. We're good right now.
Yeah, sorry. I will. I think it's okay now. My screen went totally black.
Yeah.
But I think we're okay. So sorry about that.
No problem. So
okay.
The pursuit of academia, which is probably not a correct way to use the word, is it? Did that catch you early on, or was it something that you learned later?
Yeah. So I was always really interested in just learning in general. I've always loved learning, even though I guess I didn't really like school as much as a teenager.
Yeah.
But once I got to college, it kind of solidified. And I mean, I went on to grad school. I'm in grad school a second time now. And I started independent research as a way for me to be able to explore the things that I really enjoy. So like, I didn't even know as a college student that game studies is a field. Mm-hmm. People literally study video games, Yeah. And I didn't realize that was a possibility. So I fell into that. Yeah.
It's interesting because I see what you do. I mean, you're a writer, you do all sorts of things. But you seem really comfortable with it. And
yeah,
some folks will settle into a lifestyle and a situation and what they want to do, and they're still kind of uncomfortable with what they have decided for themselves. That doesn't seem to be the case with you. I think it sounds like you're all in.
I think I'm maybe kind of good at hiding it too sometimes, like when I feel imposter syndrome. That definitely happens even in my career, mm-hmm. which isn't related to academia, but it is communications. And so I do a lot of writing. Yeah. And I just had a lot of training, I guess, through school too. Mm-hmm. So I got really comfortable with written work and like writing things out, editing them, all of that. So that part has been pretty comfortable for me. But yeah, switching over to, audio streaming, I'm not on video, but my model is moving, that kind of thing has been a little harder.
Yeah. Well, it's a different animal, isn't it? I mean, it's especially when you're on live because you don't have the ability to edit.
Right.
When you're on live, whatever you say is going to be there forever and ever and ever in somebody's mind.
Yep.
It's a little different. It's like writing an essay with everyone looking at your pencil while you're doing it.
I know.
Yeah, that's quite different. Had you ever been behind a microphone before?
So I've done like online conference presentations for research stuff because I just don't want to really put money into traveling into physical conferences when my job is not, I'm not a professor.
Right.
I don't get paid to go to conferences, or I don't get reimbursed rather to go to conferences.
Yeah. So
I've done online conferences where I present my research, which is I've been doing for maybe 5-6 years now. And that's gotten me a little bit of practice, but I also was doing content in a completely separate area. Like I wasn't a VTuber. Mm-hmm. I was on camera for a couple of years.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother can of worms there.
I know, yeah, and I kind of don't like being on camera. So
yeah, I feel the same. I did a little bit of that for local cable television for a few years, and it took a while to get used to that after being behind in radio, no one sees your face, and it's usually for a good reason. We have the faces for radio, a lot of us do. But having that extra feature, now that you don't always just express with your words, but you also have to, you know, use your hands occasionally, and facial expression has to be right, and then you also have to worry about, is there a giant mark of ink across my face while I'm doing it?
Right. Yeah.
And why are you looking at me? Type of deal. It really it just changes the whole thing, the vector. But
It does, yeah. And
so
I don't miss like having to set up the camera and make sure the lighting's good and make sure I'm ready and all this. And like I can just sit down in front of my computer now, which is so much faster. And saves me a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I really do wish a lot of this technology was around when I started in the 80s in radio, because the quality of some of the things that we were doing, interview wise, I mean, the interview themselves were great. It's just that it sounded like both of us were talking into a full can of beans, and
Right, yeah.
and it took forever. And I certainly wouldn't be able to talk with people in other countries because it cost more than I would make in the year to do something like that.
Right, yeah. We've had a lot of good tech updates for like easy connectivity, which I appreciate because, yeah, I mean, I've worked online for a few years too, with other, researchers in other countries that I never would have talked to otherwise.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And to get that kind of perspective right away, is that positive for you, or has it been tough for you to incorporate that into what you're doing?
The research stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, I guess, because kind of when I was first thinking about this and thinking, why don't I just do content on YouTube? Because lots of people make video essays, even about games, and I watch those. So why don't I just make my own? And then I don't have to write a research paper or go to a conference presentation every time I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that'll be good for video essays. But then when I started the actual streaming part, I'm like, people are not here to listen to me lecture, so I can't do that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
can't. I have to make it more entertaining.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask you about with these long form videos you're planning. Are they going to be the educational, everybody sitting in a room watching the presentation type of things, or are you going to have to throw some entertainment into it too and be a little silly?
I think I'm gonna try. I guess the way I think about it now is almost like science communication, if that makes sense. I'm not a scientist, but I used to work in science communication where we would take really complicated things from the science people, the engineers and everybody, and we had to write it in an article that was for a much wider audience. So it had to be interesting and it couldn't be too dense, like in terms of academic talk,
So the dense
and
was
so now
the dense was the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just like, I'm not a scientist, so if somebody starts talking to me about like super specific, I don't know, computer stuff, computer engineering, we had some pieces that were about like different types of concrete, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to help me say it like in a, to everybody else who's not a specialist, I guess. And so I realized that I kind of have to do the same thing if I want to make video essays that don't sound like just a straight lecture, because a lot of people don't like that. Mm-hmm. I'd rather make it more like broad audience, more generally interesting, that anybody could click on and still understand and still hopefully learn something, but also get some like entertainment. My personality's still there to some extent, if that makes sense. But
yeah, it does. Yeah. Now, what about the video presentation of it? Sometimes it's you can get the audio presentation down and it sounds good, but now you've got to come up with something on the video side.
Right.
Is it going to be you with your model talking to everybody? Is it going to be, there are going to be animations? What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, so I'm still learning how to edit too. Like I've been learning short form, and long form is totally different. You have to, it just takes so much more stuff. And so if I just sit there with my model, I feel like if someone wants to listen to it as a podcast, that works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they just want to put it on and listen to it, do something else like clean, like I do when I listen to video essays,
right,
that would work. But not everybody watches like that. So what I'm trying to do is have, you know, I sit down and record with my model, and then I can edit in game footage of something that I'm talking about, or if it's a character I'm talking about, images or, you know, relevant visuals, and just try to edit that in. And hopefully over time I get better at that. Like, I can't do animation, but, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be, it'll be a little trial and error probably at the start.
Yeah.
But once you get smooth at it, it will make a big difference, and you'll be more comfortable with it. And I can tell you from experience here with these interviews that the first couple I did, the quality technical wise wasn't particularly good, but I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know at the start.
Yeah, and it's like it certainly has evolved since, you know, a couple years ago since we started these things. First of all, it was only 20 minutes when I started.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer now, which is because I'm naturally curious about these things, and I imagine you've got that too. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be looking for stuff and to learn, and you know, you put down languages and all these things. First of all, you know more than one language. I'm deathly envious of that.
I took I wouldn't say, I guess I never really got fluent, but I took 4 years of Korean when I was in college. I took a couple years of Japanese. I took German in high school. Like, that was just curiosity. I really wanted to learn other languages, but you know, if you don't go use it frequently, you forget it really fast.
Yeah. Now I've heard that Korean, because my niece started learning Korean. Is Korean actually easier as a written language to learn than it is as far as a spoken language?
In my opinion, yes, because I can read pretty much any Korean that's put in front of me. I might read it slow, but you know, I might be slow at reading it. Yeah. But I can read it, but I don't necessarily know what it says. So Korean is, if you think about English, we write with, you know, our letters. Even if somebody doesn't know what the word means, they can probably sound it out if they're learning.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Japanese or Chinese where you're writing in the kanji in Japanese, the complicated characters, you know.
Right.
It's not like that. It's basically an alphabet in Korean. So it looks, to an English speaker, it looks like, well, this is character writing like Japanese, but it's not. It's actually just an alphabet.
Ah, okay. And again, the pronunciations get me every once in a while with that.
Yeah.
I am, since I've been doing this, I've been learning a few words here and there, and hopefully if they do come out in conversation, I'm using them correctly. That doesn't always happen.
Exactly.
But I just, for some reason, I have not ever been able to fully commit to a different language, which it really gripes me.
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to know both Spanish and French, but my Spanish is what I got off Sesame Street as a kid. I tell me I can almost count to 20, and I can tell you where the doors are.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But
it's also a lot of different skill sets too. And I don't, you know, when you start learning, like when you've never learned a language, I don't know that you really think about that until you start learning. And then you realize, oh, I have to learn how to read it, how to write it, how to speak it. I have to learn grammar. I have to learn listening skills. And if you listen to a native speaker talk, they don't sound anything like your teachers do.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. And some of the languages are spoken so quickly most of the time. I'm like, I'm lost. I can't even tell. Spanish, sometimes I can follow along a conversation if I get the general idea of what's being talked about, not the details.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. It's definitely hard for an old man to learn new tricks like that. It's not easy. Now tell me about that voice of yours. Has that always been an extremely comforting, calm, welcoming voice, or have you done some work on it?
I haven't done anything. So I haven't done any kind of voice training or exercises. I would actually like to, because I would like to have more control, because I do feel like I fluctuate a little bit. Like if I'm tired, I definitely sound tired.
Yeah.
If I'm, if I have like a customer service voice, sometimes at work when somebody calls me and I'm trying to be like, oh, I don't know you, let me be really friendly so you don't think I'm like mad at you or something.
Yeah.
But no, I've never had training or anything. I think I'm naturally pretty quiet, naturally pretty calm outside my own anxiety. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just really, it's an amazing instrument. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that helps a lot with the streams that you do. Have you gotten? I'm sure you've gotten a lot of comment on it.
I've gotten like from people who kind of pass by my shorts sometimes, and they just leave a comment like, "Oh, I love your voice," and that threw me off. I wasn't expecting that because I hate the sound of my own voice, but I think most people do. Like when you hear yourself.
Yeah, I do. I
recorded.
Still do now. Yeah, I think I've heard that.
You don't
one
get
already.
used to it. It's like, yeah. But I've gotten a few comments on stream. People are like, "Oh, you should read. Like you should do a stream reading stories." I'm like, okay. I mean, I could try that.
Well, yeah, I think that would be wonderful, especially given that your background. I mean, first of all, you'd probably know how the words are supposed to be pronounced.
You would think so, but the amount of times I mess up on stream, like reading in a game, if I play a narrative game where I have to read a lot, it's like you learn how to say a word in your head, and then when you say it out loud, it's like, wait, that's not actually how you pronounce that word. That's just how I've said it in my head for years.
I used to do that with names a lot, and I still do it every once in a while on these interviews. But the names will go. There was once a tennis player whose name was so long that I practiced it for days, and he was moving up the ladder at times, and I had to do sportscasts every day. So 35 years later, I still remember Slobodan Zivojinovic, but I've never actually used it in a story.
Yeah,
he didn't quite pan out. I'm like, I know this name now, but now I can't use it.
Oh no!
Practice made perfect and useless at that point.
I know, right? It's like I spent all this time and now I don't even need. Okay.
Yeah. Now with the game study that you're doing here, how does that affect when you're actually playing a game? When you start a game, does the review stuff click in already, or does the want to be entertained stuff click in?
I think it often depends on. Well, sometimes it depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. Like if I'm tired and I just need to check out, I can play a game and not really think about it.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing a narrative game, like the whole point is kind of story and or character development, that kind of stuff, it's hard to turn it off. Like I can't turn my own brain off and stop nitpicking.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, no, just sit down and enjoy it. It's fine.
Oh, they could have done this a little bit better. I get that same way with games, and I start doing the play-by-play in my head.
Yeah.
Of doing all the radio stuff. And then it doesn't matter. I could be playing Uno, and I'm still doing play-by-play. Oh, that's a terrible card.
Yeah.
Let's have the replay. Let's look at the replay in the booth. How we play that card.
Definitely hardwired habit after a while. It's hard.
Absolutely. And when you're playing solitaire, you're like, oh, that's a terrible card. What's he going to do with it?
Yeah.
The writing part that you talk about, did that start as a young person? And was that something you really embraced, even through your rebellious teen years, like you mentioned?
I guess I never really thought too much about writing in particular until probably maybe late high school. And I don't really know why. I don't know. I guess as a kid, I kind of wrote just little short stories here and there, but it never clicked to me that, like, hey, that's something you could actually work on, like you could develop a skill and it will serve you in school, but it can also serve you in the workplace and all that. And so by the time I got to high school, I think I had given my mom's friend a paper of mine to read because she asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what it was about, but she wanted to read it. And then she told my mom, "Oh, your daughter's a really good writer. She should like look into that." And I was like, I mean, I just wrote a school paper. Isn't this what everybody does? I don't know. So it never really occurred to me. And then when I got to college, I originally wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach history.
Oh my.
And I changed my mind partway through, decided I didn't want to teach high school, and I kept my history major, but I did an English, like literary studies minor, because I decided maybe writing and publishing is where I wanted to end up. And I ended up in communications, which is not exactly the same, but it's relevant enough, so it kind of followed me. Yeah.
It's tangentially tangent.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm close enough,
Yeah. Well, I always liked, I did well in math in high school. So, of course, I didn't take any of that in college.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I wanted to do the radio thing. I wanted to do it since I was a preteen. I wanted to do radio. And one of the local colleges had a radio course, and I went into that, and now I don't use it anymore.
Oh, no.
I've got a real job that pays money. I was in it for 35 years, so I had my time with it.
Well, that's great, though.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to do something, reach a goal early on. There's good and bad to that. But I really didn't get to start becoming a student until high school.
Yeah.
I didn't ask questions, which is kind of silly because that's what I do now. But I just figured I knew it and wasn't paying anything. Plus, I was lazy. I'll admit to that. But then I realized that I wasn't going to be in the top 25% of my class unless I, put the foot down. And suddenly I'm taking all the books home every day and bugging the teachers nonstop, and the grades went up. Is there a point you think in a lot of people's lives where they kind of realize that they have a little bit of a gift and then want to refuse it as much as possible?
I think that probably happens a lot, where maybe it doesn't line up with what you thought you wanted or what you're otherwise interested in. It's like, well, if I'm good at this, but that's not what I want to do, then you don't really pay attention to it, or you don't invest in it, and then maybe later it kind of comes back to find you,
Oh yeah. You realize, I better use this thing.
Yeah, and even like with writing, I wasn't all that interested, and I didn't even really like my English classes in high school.
Yeah. You mentioned the classes that you were doing, the English literature type stuff, and my skin crawled.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just the teachers or I just, typical teenager not interested. I don't know. I like to read. I just didn't like the classes so much. So then by the time I got to grad school and I chose English, it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. What am I doing? Why
did I end up here?
Why did I do that? Do you find it, with your obvious talents and abilities, was it constricting to take these classes, or was it expanding to take these classes for you?
I think it was more expanding because I took a range. Like I had the flexibility to take I didn't have to just take literature classes. For example, I took linguistics, different linguistics classes. I took different, like writing classes. And then I also had to take some literature. So it was a big mix of stuff rather than being very prescriptive of you have to do this specific thing. And so I kind of got to explore a little more, which was good for me because I like the wide range of stuff.
Right. Yeah, you get to find your own path that way. And that leads, I think, to usually better understanding, unless your path is way off the map.
Right. Yeah.
And I had that happen one time. They gave me a 3-page short story and wanted us to write a 10-page essay on it.
Yeah.
And oh my
Yes,
gosh.
the close reads.
Yeah, I brought in so many comparisons into it. I brought in the kitchen sink. I said, you want 10 pages? I'm giving you 10 pages of whatever comes to my mind. And I got it back
Yep.
with entire pages X'd out in red and the word no
Oh
written on it.
no.
And I still
Oh,
got a
oh
B.
no.
I still got a B, so I was like, okay. It worked.
Well, hey, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got through it. Um, Sometimes I think when you get in a class like that, that it doesn't actually do a whole lot for your creativity, because depending on
Yeah.
the teacher. And I see this with people who take art classes as well, where their natural, the human side of it is kind of filtered out
Yeah.
to get the kind of product they're looking for. Did you find that when you were going through school?
I think with maybe some of the like intro courses and where you have to take, well, depending on the structure of your program, a lot of times you're taking like an intro course and a theory course and a methods course, and these are kind of like these core requirements for different fields, and then you get to branch out and take stuff that's like more interesting to you individually. So for example, I think I had my literature course in grad school was vampire literature. So I got to pick what I wanted.
Yes.
You know, but I still had to take all the theory classes and all the research methods classes. And it's like those you can't really be as creative.
Yes.
But you're kind of, I think it helps if the teacher or the professor kind of primes their students before, like, hey, you know, I know this kind of sucks because you have to do this more prescriptive, but we're trying to teach you the foundation, and then you get to do whatever you want with it, you know?
Yeah. Well, that requires the teacher to put a human face on it, which makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And rather than, this is what's in my book, here you go, chapter 1.
Yeah, exactly. They have to do their part as a teacher to, you know, make it clear to the students, like, this is why you're learning this.
Yeah. Well, my favorite author, I think, is, or was, Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And
yeah,
I think that if he showed that book to some college professors, they would just X out the entire book, because he definitely did not write in a style that was according to Hoyle.
right. Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah. I
and then get, you know, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying that a lot of people will do that and get, you know, bad feedback from one place, but then you take it to a wider audience and it's like, no, this is fine. Like you had somebody give you bad feedback.
Yeah. Because it wasn't by the book. I mean, if you read one paragraph of Douglas Adams, you know that his world, it rotates at a different speed than everybody else's.
Yeah.
I kind of like that world better sometimes.
Yeah.
So in using as fancy a term I possibly can, how fast does your world spin when you're writing?
Well, I think it depends on what I'm writing. So if I'm like, when I was working my previous job, I was doing the science communication and I had to sit down and figure out, okay, how do I make this go for a general audience? And it would take me a really long time. But then when I sit down and I write something I know, like it's just, I get lost, you know, and then at the end of it, I have all this text and it's like, oh, now I have a giant mess I have to clean up.
Yeah. And time to get out the tweezers and start taking stuff out. So when you're writing something like that, are you looking at it through your eyes, or are you looking at it through your potential audience's eyes?
Yeah, with the video essays, I think in the past when I was actually like not VTubing, just doing other content, and I thought I might do video essays before I even knew what VTubing was, I kind of wrote as if I was talking to an academic audience, not realizing that that's not that's not how it works for video essays. And the more I watched video essays, I was like, okay, no, I need to structure this differently and I need to think about who's listening. And that's also kind of a communications field thing. Like we're always thinking about the audience, and how they're going to receive it. So we try to anticipate, how is this going to work for them? Not just what do I want to write, how I want to write it. Because I can write it that way, but then I can go back and, form it into a more interesting hook, for example, at the start of the video, and make the structure really easy to follow for someone who's listening. They're not reading it, they're listening.
Yeah. It's almost marketing. Where you're tailoring
part
to your
of
audience.
That.
Yeah. It's hook them in and then keep them there for a while. That's the thing. But you do have to take an idea of your audience. If you've got a perfectly done, well-written essay that you're presenting to people who English is their third language, you're probably not going to get the point across.
You have to consider that too if you're talking to a global audience. At one of my workplaces, we had a lot of people from various places in Asia. Mm-hmm. And so English was their second, third language. And they were very fluent, but sometimes, it's still hard to communicate. And the native English speakers had to become more cognizant of, like, wait a minute, let me say this in a very clear way so that nobody's confused, because It's not their fault. It's just, this is not their native language, you know?
Yeah. Well, plus English has so many words like there, which can be everything.
Yes.
And it's very tough to get that across sometimes. And the meaning of it across. I'm kind of jealous of the other languages though, because it seems like these other languages, a lot of them have words for everything. There was one word that I heard, a Japanese word for the sunlight through sakura trees or something like that, and that was a word. For that. Like, wow, that's being able to describe very exactly specific. What you're saying. It's really cool. But
exactly. It's a lot of like precision sometimes in other languages that we don't get in English.
Yeah.
And English is very much a hodgepodge of so many like languages, that kind of trickled down into English. But there's a lot of specific terms that we don't, or you can't even translate them into English.
No. And then and that's why I do try to incorporate that as much as I can when I can remember them, because I do I really do like to get the specific to paint as good a picture word wise as I possibly can, and I'll use a lot of comparisons, allegory type things to do that.
Yeah.
Is that something that you can do in the sort of writing you were doing in your last job with the science and such? Can you use that sort of writing, or do you have to be very clinical with it?
You can be a little more creative. Like, it depends on it. I mean, I'm sure it depends on who you're working for, but we were targeting, non-specialist audiences who are still like maybe kind of in academic related or research related jobs, but they're not scientists necessarily. Mm-hmm. And so we could use some of the more like specific academic stuff, but we also tried to use very like easy to understand comparisons, or, they'd use something as an illustration, like, here's the science concept, but let me explain it in like maybe college level terms,
Let me explain it in one syllable terms for you.
It's like, let me like give you an illustration, a metaphor, something that helps you understand this if you're not a science person, but also a little bit of the science talk for the people who do have that background, at least at the like undergrad level, Yeah.
And now when you're doing these video essays here coming up, you'll be able to do that as you're going. You'll be able to, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Bonk. That should really expand your ability to communicate with the audience you're looking for.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I'm able to make it, interesting enough and understandable enough to the widest audience so that it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to have this background in order to understand what she's talking about. I don't ever want it to feel like that, because that's just too limiting,
Yeah. And the audience shrinks the more florid you get with with
Yeah.
your writing. Um, and you can be too precise sometimes because people don't know exactly what you're talking about. Um,
Right.
Now, when you're online now and doing a stream, do you get nervous before the microphone turns on? And how long does it take for
Yes.
you to get rid of that, or do you?
I do. It's a little weird because I kind of joke sometimes on stream that I'm like a retired part-time theater kid because in high school I did a lot of performance-based stuff.
Yeah.
And so you would think that it wouldn't bother me, like it wouldn't be any kind of nervousness or any kind of anxiety, but being a typically anxious person anyway, I'm like, no, I'm still anxious every time I sit down, even the day before sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to be live on a computer tomorrow. And like, it kind of freaks me out for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then I remember it's always fine. You've been fine this whole year. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if something happens that I'm not expecting it to happen, or we have a tech problem, or I don't know, if I can't figure out the game I'm playing, I get anxious. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I get a little easier with it because I just assume the worst. Yeah, knew that was going to happen. Just keep going. That's old radio stuff. There, you always prepare for.
Yeah.
You always have your extra piece of chewing gum in case you need to MacGyver something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you never know when that's going to happen. The gameplay, once you get, what types of games do you enjoy playing online?
Yeah, mostly I grew up on RPG story-based games, so like Legend of Zelda was probably the stuff I played most as a kid, and then into adulthood I branched out into other story games, so I really enjoy like Final Fantasy games and Kingdom Hearts, but those are hard to play on stream sometimes, so I do let myself play story games, but I also try to mix in like a lot of indie games that are story based or that are cozy simulator type games.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those are easier for an audience to like look at and know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, rather than a story that they maybe didn't miss, or they maybe didn't see the first however many streams of that story.
Right, but that also, there's a lot of those games you can interact with the audience better.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And there some of those games, especially the high impact games like your Overwatches and Marvel Rivals. First of all, I'm too old to even know what's going on that screen when it goes just lots of flashing lights and people yelling their catchphrases. And it would be really tough to interact with the chat at that point. Do you find it easier with those story-based games to interact with the chat?
Yeah, personally, I think so. I'm going to say this as someone who has essentially never played a first-person shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I tried it a couple times, but I was never good at it. I don't know what's going on. I have no depth perception. I can't tell what's happening. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. So that's too fast-paced for me personally. I get why people like it, and I get people like to watch, someone who has the skill do it.
Right.
But I can't. I would be the worst. So I think it's easier with the story games or cozy games or like Animal Crossing type games. Mm-hmm. You can stop pretty frequently and look at your chat, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, my comfort game was Stardew Valley, which is now sitting on my computer, which isn't working right now. All 40 save files are sitting there, and I can't get to them. But if I did start on that, I wouldn't be doing any interviews.
That's true. It's easy to sink a lot of time into it. We tried a few, or I say I tried a few demos during Steam Next Fest on stream, and so I had some people watching me do these cleaning games where you clean like old technology.
Oh yeah.
And like repair it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lose so much time.
I've got to repair this watch. I can't do my papers.
Like, one more.
Yes, just one more. I'm almost there. They always give you these incentives, and you're always this close to getting it done.
Yes.
And so I got to do one more to do that sort of thing. And like in Stardew Valley, I have to harvest the cabbages. You think about it all day until you get back home.
Yep.
On the computer. When you're doing a game online and you're into especially the story-based games, how quick do you know whether you're going to like it or not at this point, given your unique perspective on these things?
Yeah, I think I have different criteria if I'm on stream versus off stream, which might sound a little weird, but what I mean by that is if I'm on stream and I'm trying a game and it's new to me, or maybe I've just previewed it before I got on stream, I'm pretty easy to please. I'm like, as long as I'm entertained and as long as I can have fun on stream, I'm probably going to like it. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to be, nitpicking it because that's not what stream is for. Mm-hmm. And if I'm offline and I'm just playing a game on my own, like recently or a few months ago, I guess, I tried Final Fantasy 15, which I was unsure about at the time. I thought, I don't think I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
And I gave it about half an hour to an hour, and I was like, never mind, I love this. So, if it draws me in within the first hour or so, I'm like, yeah, this might be worth it. And then maybe by the end of the game, I've changed my mind, but usually not. Usually I know pretty early.
Yeah, well, I've seen people get burned out on a game online, and the ending is not good.
Yeah.
And you talked about that you think that your voice changes when you're up or down when you're online. I hear these people like it's a death march at the end of these things.
Oh no!
And it's like, and finally we're done. Okay, we'll never play that again. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So I think, do you have just that curiosity that'll keep you going through something like that?
I think so. I think I'm just, especially if I've played a story, if I have generally liked it at some point, maybe I'm just tired of playing that game and I need to come back to it later. Mm-hmm. But I'm usually curious enough about what the ending is going to be that I'll get there to the ending. And then I kind of make my decision of, yeah, I actually didn't really like that, or no, I don't think I'm going to play that again. Or
I think I'm getting the idea that spoilers would be devastating to you.
Actually not. I think, which is a little weird too. Yeah, I think on stream at least, if I'm playing a game on stream, generally I get pretty flustered if I don't know what to do or if I don't know what's happening. And so if somebody were to tell me, and I've told my chat before, it's okay if you backseat. It's okay if you tell me what's going to happen. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. I won't be offended. But if it's a game that I really, really care about, I'm probably not playing it on stream to start with anyway. I'm going to experience it on my own.
Yeah.
And then maybe play it on stream. So for example, I just mentioned Final Fantasy 15. I accidentally spoiled that for myself. And I was mad about it because I did it. And it was a game I cared more about. And I think I typed something in on YouTube to look for, I had a question or something. And so I was trying to look it up. And one of the videos that popped up basically revealed the ending of the game. And I was like, well, now I know that's coming and I'm upset about it. But normally on stream, I don't care too much. But because I'm like, if somebody spoiled it, unless I've explicitly said don't do that, I generally don't care. But if I'm going to play a story that I think I'm going to care about a lot I don't want to know what's going to happen, mm-hmm. I just do it off stream first.
Yeah.
And now I know not to Google. So.
Do not.
Yeah, I was like, I think I just needed help with something, or I was confused about where I had left off. I don't know. And so I typed it in for a video.
Yes.
To walk me through it, and it popped up, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, why would you make that your title?
There's a time to cheat, and that wasn't it.
I know. It was like, this is not, normally I have a game guide up in case I get frustrated, because I actually don't like to do things more than once, so I'll just look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get frustrated.
I understand.
And that was before I had the guide, the physical guidebook, for this game particularly. Yeah. They used to make those for all games, so I like to collect them.
Oh, yeah. Really? You do? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of space for them anymore, but for the games that I really, really like, if it has a physical copy, I'll get it, the book. Yeah.
Back in the old days, that's all we had. We didn't, on my Commodore 64, we couldn't go online and look these things up.
Oh, no. Yeah.
and it costs too much to actually call people to find out. So,
Yeah.
I remember one game I Might and Magic won, where it was it was mostly text based, but I actually bought a thing of graph paper and graphed out every single map on that game,
Wow.
every square, because I could not find the ending. And
Oh my
and
gosh.
finally, when I found how to get the ending, I was so overpowered it took like 30 seconds
Oh no.
because my levels were like 66,000 or something on these guys. They just uh, cast lightning bolt is dead.
Wow.
The big bad's dead.
Yeah. It's like kind of underwhelming by that point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it was nice to finish it, but still, at the end,
Yeah.
has there been something about VTubing that has caught you the wrong way? That you were like, oh, I don't like this at all.
Uh, I don't think so about VTubing itself, like in terms of it being like a method of doing content is kind of how I think about it. Like it's not the end all be all of my content, it's just the delivery method.
Right.
The tech stuff throws me off a lot and I get really frustrated.
Yes.
So I try to figure all that out. But other than that, really it's just sometimes on Twitter things get nasty and I don't like to be there. So I just kind of check out and I don't go there very often.
Yeah, it does, and I am since I was in my previous life a sports talk radio host. I do get drawn in.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. But in the old days, it used to be about what I already said. So I was like, okay, this is not what I said, and then
Right.
go from there. But um, it does take away from it. But it can also be a positive thing to use to promote the channel and everything. Um,
Yeah.
you just wish you could find an alternative didn't have the that didn't have the extra cheese to go with your
I
your order.
know.
You know, but that's people, and I'm sure you met a lot of people like that while doing academic stuff. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I can't even imagine because I never got that far as far as academia goes to put together
Yeah.
a presentation and then have somebody actually try to destroy everything that you put up.
Yes.
Have you had that
Yeah.
happen? And what did you hit them with?
Thankfully, I've been pretty lucky in the terms of like conference presentations, the ones that I go to that are online.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, most people are pretty kind about it. Like they might give you feedback if you ask for it, but they're not generally trying to, make you feel bad or anything.
Right.
But I think it depends on the industry too, or not the industry, but the field.
Mm-hmm.
Some fields I think are a little more like that than others. And I guess the joke in academia is reviewer two.
Mm.
So,
yeah,
like if you submit an article for an academic journal, there's usually at least two reviewers, and for some reason, it's more often than not reviewer two who is like, no, don't do this. You need to include this. You didn't cite this person. This doesn't work here.
You're using.
So I've had that.
You're using faulty everything. Your language skills are bad. You use too many vowels.
They will nitpick, and like not everybody does that, of course, but sometimes it does happen, and I have had it happen a little bit with written work for journals. But I also don't do that as much as I do the conference stuff because being independent, I often feel like I don't know what I'm doing anyway. So
just nod and keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you say so. Okay.
Yeah. And one thing that I definitely learned about doing academic stuff and college paper stuff, don't use commas. They hate commas. Hate them. I'm writing radio copy. You use commas for everything because you have to know where to pause, but not for school. No, they hate commas. It's an anti-comma environment. So, have you got any big plans coming up for the rest of the year for your channel and getting that, especially getting that YouTube going?
Yeah, I think my main focus, I guess I'm trying to balance like, offline real life stuff with content stuff, and that's one reason why it's taken me so long to try to get the long form stuff out. I have so many like research projects that I'm behind on that I have to do first.
Yeah.
So my goal is really before the end of the year to have at least one long form essay out, hopefully more, but at least one in case I have any issues, I can hopefully fix it before the next one. And that'll make me feel like I accomplished, what I set out to do this year at least. And I also will have my, technically already had my 1 year anniversary just last week, but because I wasn't consistent yet, I'm considering October my 1 year.
Yeah.
So I'll try to find something to do for that. Not like a big event, but just something to kind of mark that occasion.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it because I'm really waiting to see what these what the long form things have to offer, and I think it's just going to be there's so much work that you put into it, and it's got to be good. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll promote it.
You.
We'll promote the literature out of it when you got it ready to go. Maybe we'll get you on for a quick update on that once we're ready for it. But folks,
thank you.
We're going to have all of the links in the description for this video, and there are a lot of them because they're everywhere. If you set your toaster right, you're probably going to get to one of them. Thank you so much for coming on. It's just an absolute pleasure talking with you. And again, so much talent and creative ability in that voice.
Thank you.
People are gonna tune in droves, I imagine. If they're not, it's on them because they're missing out.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.